My head chef, Robert Reed, said to me, "Where do we go from here, Marky?" And I said to him, when I was a young boy, Mr. Reed used to tell me about a restaurant in Paris called La Serre, which was the ultimate, because it had 3 stars in Michelin and 5 red knives and forks. I said, we've got 3 stars with 4 black knives and forks. Let's go for 5 red knives and forks. For the next 3 years, we pushed and we pushed and we pushed and we did everything. In January '98, we won our 3 stars with 5 red knives and forks. I'd realized my dream all those years later. And that dream I had when I was 17 years old. I was now 37 years old, so for 20 years, I'd worked to realize my dream. Things don't happen overnight. You have to make the emotional and the personal investment to make your dreams come true. My father sent me to Harrogate, which was a spa town, and told me to find a job. The most daunting task in my life. And I went to Harrogate and I found a job at the Hotel St George in Harrogate. And I started there on the 20th March 1978. It wasn't great food, but what they taught me was how to push, how to run, how to be consistent, because consistency is born out of discipline, how never to be late, how to go to work when you're not feeling well, and let the chef send you home.
My advice to young chefs from the age of 16 to sort of 29, 30 is 14 years of a sponge. You're absorbing knowledge. Don't take a job for the sake of money. Don't worry about earning £500 a month or a year more somewhere else. Go and get knowledge, because that becomes a bigger passport for everything. The money will come once you've mastered your craft and you become incredibly talented. Work for big chefs and find a different level of comfort. When things get too comfortable and you're still living with your parents and you've still got your first job and you don't want to move out because everything's too comfortable, get out. Put yourself in a strange situation in the middle of Barcelona, put yourself in the middle of Paris, put yourself in the middle of Belgium and see what's available. It's amazing how much confidence it gives you, and more importantly, it's great to sort of eat and travel at the same time. Fantastic.
Success is born out of luck. It's awareness of mind that takes advantage of that opportunity. You will all be confronted with opportunity. You must take advantage of it. Because if you don't take advantage of your opportunity, you'll never realize your dreams. Whether you want them or not is an irrelevance. You don't know that until you achieve it. I think what gave me the drive to succeed was my insecurities. Reading, writing, struggling. It gave me that individual drive to prove myself, because I'd been belittled at school. I'd never been taken serious. I was always looked upon as being a fool, as being stupid. So it was the fuel behind me, and that's what made me work far harder, was to prove to my father and other individuals, including several teachers, that, you know, maybe I struggled with reading and writing, but I had and possessed other great qualities. And so had I been dealt with as a child, I may never have the energy or the fuel to drive me to get to where I got. I've had lots of bad luck in my life, but I think having bad luck is equally as important, because when you have bad luck in life, you have to reflect. You have to take the knowledge from that experience. We've all been treated badly. We've all made mistakes. We've all had bad luck. So what we have to do is reflect, take the knowledge from that experience, and then allow it to enrich our life. It's as simple as that. And let's be honest, when people say, do you have any regrets, Marco? I say no. Because had it not been for all those mistakes I made, you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have today. I wouldn't have the experience that I have today. because mistakes are fine as long as you take the knowledge from the mistake.
One thing I've learned and experienced is that, you know, if you don't open up and you don't delegate, then you'll kill yourself. And if there's one thing that I've managed to understand is the art of delegation, because if I can pass on, you know, to Claire Smith, to Arian, my palette, my understanding, my knowledge, then grab it, run it, and then pass it on to your team. Don't hold that inside. Stay in front of the competition, because there's two ways in this industry. You move with it or it moves you. And I've seen so many sad stories across the decade where chefs have just got lazy, given up and lost that hunger to be competitive because it's the best job in the world. That's not really a job, it's a passion. Because when you're rubbing shoulders, and here we are now, 10 years later, and I've got a restaurant next door to Jamie Oliver's, and we're both literally 2 meters apart. Phenomenal chef, and we keep each other on our toes. So that's exciting for me, and that's been the one key issue across the 10 years of filming Kitchen Nightmares. Never, ever, ever give up.
It takes years to become a great chef. What you need to do is establish confidence in yourself. Cooking is an amazing journey, and don't think you can learn it within 3 or 4 years. It's like studying medicine. It's over a 10 to 15 year period. I'm 42 years of age and I'm still learning new exciting things now that I bring back to the fold. But more importantly, vision, I think. I didn't think French was important at school, and I kick myself now because I went to live in France for 3 years and became bilingual. But I wish I'd studied harder with a second language on my belt. That gives you a different culture, gives you a completely different level of confidence. Learning French cuisine, mannerism, and cooking in a very robust, tenacious way. So, yeah, vision and open-mindedness. And we never cut corners. The minute you start cutting corners in food, time out. There's no worse job to have than to cut corners in food. So, attention to detail, an amazing, exciting journey. One of the very few jobs anywhere in the world that you can travel, get paid, and experience phenomenal food anywhere in the world. Brilliant. My first passion before food was football, but I was always a good eater, great lover of food, and I grew up partly in Scotland, partly down south. So we had that sort of token of appreciation of home-cooked food. Then I was very lucky to get on a foundation course, spending the last year of my school at a foundation course, studying maths, English 2.5 days a week, and then learning to cook for 2.5 days a week, and it was a sort of new experiment. Now we had trouble with buying my first set of whites and chef knives, and we depended on the Banbury round table to come up with something like £85–90 that Mum and Dad didn't have to get my first set of whites. So I still remember that day now, and how ecstatic and happy I was when I got given my first set of whites, my knives, and all of a sudden I wanted to go on that mission. Football was a sort of huge burning ambition, and I was trying to decide. Yeah, I had a horrific injury where I smashed my cartilage, and then all of a sudden, what do? You sit there and get bitter. But I had this little burning desire of this sort of chef, this ambition, and then I sort of channeled that frustration from football into cooking in a way that I just wanted to learn. The foundation course was huge. Did a Sitting Guild 706. I was a mature part-time student, and Mum and Dad didn't have the money to send me to college full-time. So it was hard, but what I did do is take a job in the industry. I worked 6 days a week and went to college 1 day a week. So then everything started becoming clearer. Got my qualifications, the basic, and then went to London. And that's where it really just took off.
And so the one thing my father gave me, which was really key, was that work ethic. That ability to get myself up in the morning, no matter how tired I was, to push myself through those pain barriers. And again, the combination of the loss of a mother at 6 and then being sent out to work at 10, starting work at 5 o'clock in the morning to do the milk round, being dropped off at 8:45 at school in the milk van, that work ethic. So that combination of those two, work ethic and great insecurity, was what got me to where I went to.